Imagine this scene. You're walking through a stunningly beautiful city, and you see this incredible old house with carved shutters. Or maybe you're sitting in a cafe, watching a funny little scene unfold. Someone talking on the phone with such expressive gestures, like they're conducting an orchestra. Or perhaps you're just gazing out the window at a sunset painting the sky in impossible colors. And a thought flashes through your mind. I wish I could capture this moment. But then you instantly dismiss it. But I can't draw. Sound familiar? What if I told you there is a way to catch those moments, remember them, ponder the world around you, and even spark new ideas? And you absolutely don't need to be a professional artist? You don't need years of formal training? This way is called sketching. Or, in the simplest terms, it's quick, lively drawing in a special notebook, often called a sketchbook. Think of it as visual note-taking about the world around you, or the ideas swirling in your head. Sketching isn't about creating museum masterpieces. It's not about perfectly straight lines or photographic accuracy. It's about paying attention, about curiosity, about that spark of impulse. It's like keeping a diary, but instead of words, you use images, quick drawings, little visual snippets. Your own personal, unique impressions, captured on paper. So why should an everyday person, someone who maybe hasn't drawn since school, bother with this? Well, there are actually lots of reasons, and they're all wonderfully practical and genuinely enjoyable. Sharpen your seeing. First, and maybe most importantly, sketching teaches you to really see. We live fast-paced lives, often looking at the world distractedly, just skimming the surface. Pick up a pencil and a sketchbook, and everything changes. Suddenly, you notice how the shadow falls from your coffee cup onto the table, how that tree branch outside the window curves, how the fabric folds on the jacket of the person opposite you. You start catching details, shapes, the play of light and shadow. The world around you becomes richer, more fascinating, more three-dimensional. It's like switching on a high-attention mode. Boost your memory. Second, sketching is a powerful memory tool. Our brains are wired so that visual information sticks much better than plain text or abstract thoughts. Drawing something anchors that image in your mind far more firmly. Sketch an interesting building facade while traveling? You won't just remember it later, you'll recall its feel. Jot down a quick idea for rearranging your kitchen? That sketch will be infinitely clearer and more useful than a long list of bullet points. Your sketchbook becomes an extension of your memory, filled with living images. Spark ideas and train your brain. Third, it's fantastic brain training and idea generation. When you draw quickly, capturing the essence of something, you learn to think visually. You simplify complex forms, hunt for the core, and ditch the clutter. This skill, seeing the heart of things, is useful absolutely everywhere. At work, planning your week, solving everyday puzzles. And the very act of drawing, especially when your hand moves almost on autopilot, often kicks your background thinking into gear. While sketching a tree, you might suddenly solve a work problem or get a brilliant gift idea. Your sketchbook becomes a space for visual brainstorming. Find calm and mindfulness. Fourth, sketching is a form of mindfulness and rest. In our information-saturated, screen-filled world, focusing on the simple act of making a line on paper is almost meditative. You get absorbed in the process, tune out the noise, and focus completely on the here and now. It's deeply relaxing, melts stress, and gives your mind a much-needed break. 15 minutes with your sketchbook over coffee can recharge you better than scrolling social media. It's for everyone, seriously. Fifth, it's incredibly accessible and doesn't need fancy gear. You don't need a studio or expensive supplies. Honestly, a basic pencil and any notebook, even a cheap one, are enough. You can use a ballpoint pen, a gel pen, a marker, whatever's handy. Take your sketchbook anywhere. The park, the subway, a cafe, waiting in line. It's your pocket-sized companion for noticing and creating. You can start right now. No waiting, pure joy. And sixth, it's just plain fun. That feeling when you catch a moment, grasp an image, and see your impression come alive on the page? It's incredible. It's the joy of discovery, the pleasure of a tiny creative act. Even if your sketch feels wonky or not quite right, the process is what matters, your attention and your unique interpretation. Okay, you might say, that sounds great, but I really don't know how to draw. I'm all thumbs. I'm terrified of the blank page and making a mess. These fears are totally normal. Almost everyone starting out feels this way. The biggest secret of sketching is this: it doesn't require pretty drawing skills in the traditional sense. It's about something else entirely. Here are some simple tips to push past the fear and just begin. Ditch perfectionism. Your goal isn't a masterpiece. Your goal is to capture an impression, a thought, an observation. Give yourself full permission to draw badly, loosely, schematically. This is your personal book. There's no room for criticism here. Start stupidly simple. Don't try to draw a portrait or a complex landscape right away. Look at your coffee mug. Sketch its outline. Notice the handle, how the light hits the side. Draw an apple, the flowers in a vase, your own shoe. Everyday objects are perfect starting points. Break it down. See everything as simple shapes. Any complex thing is just circles, ovals, rectangles, triangles stacked together. Start with those. Draw a house as a box with a triangle roof. A tree as a lollipop shape, a circle on a stick. You'll gradually learn to spot these basic forms in real life. Try drawing without looking at your paper, not with eyes closed. This is called a blind contour exercise. Put an object in front of you. Place your pencil tip on the paper. Now, slowly draw its outline while looking only at the object, not at your paper. Trace the object's edges with your eyes, letting your hand follow. It'll look weird and abstract, but it's amazing for training your eye-hand connection and silencing the inner critic. Draw fast. Set a timer. Give yourself 2 minutes. Try to sketch something. Say, the person opposite you or the view out the window, in that time. You won't have a second to think about good or bad. You'll only capture the absolute essentials, the pose, the silhouette, the main shadows. This is the heart of sketching, speed and liveliness. Embrace the mess. Your sketchbook isn't sacred, it's a workbook. Write dates, jot notes, doodle, test different materials on one page. Draw the same thing 5 times in a row. The more imperfect pages you fill, the freer you'll feel. Find tools you love. Experiment, like the softness of a pencil, the crisp line of a pen, maybe a hint of color from watercolor pencils. Use what feels good to you. Forget fancy artist sets for now. Make it tiny, make it often. Don't wait for inspiration. Carry your sketchbook, pull it out in line, on your lunch break, sitting on a bench. 5 minutes a day is brilliant. Consistency is key. Soon, it'll feel as natural as checking your phone, but way more rewarding. The more you sketch, the more wonders you notice. Your eye gets sharper, your hand grows steadier, your own style starts to peek through, favorite ways of capturing things. You begin to see beauty and interest in the most ordinary stuff. Your sketchbook becomes your travel buddy, your planning tool. Visual to-do lists are powerful. Your way to unwind after a hectic day. Most importantly, sketching reminds us that creativity isn't some exclusive club. It's a natural human way to explore, to notice, to express yourself. It's a path to being more present in the world and within yourself. It's about bottling little moments of joy on paper. It's the freedom to show what's hard to say with words. It doesn't matter if you think you're the creative type or not. Grab the most ordinary pencil, open any notebook or pad, and just begin. Sketch your hand, that cup on your desk, the window. Don't obsess over the outcome. Trust your hand. Dive into the simple act of observing and marking the paper. You might be surprised how this small practice can shift your perspective and add unexpected brightness to your day. And if you want a little more confidence, want to learn basic tricks to make your sketches pop, or just enjoy drawing alongside others, there are fantastic resources and classes out there. They can help you unlock even more possibilities in this wonderful world of quick drawing. But the crucial step? Just start. Today, right now, make your first gloriously imperfect sketch. The world is waiting to be noticed anew.